again, heading back to my nervous system. Is everybody with me so far? Because I'm giving you a lot of information for your answer. Now, if that's the case, we're going to see that we're affecting, once again, because we have phosphate, we've got calcium, we've got blood levels to deal with, we've got muscle, we've got, do y'all see how I'm going with all this now? Okay? And then, and for example, if I wanted you to answer this at the cellular level, and we know calcium, very important for nerve conduction. So if I'm looking at that and I'm going, what effect will the rise in the phosphate and calcium levels do? Check to see what a rise in calcium does to muscle and nerve. Does it make them hyper? Does it make them not respond as quickly? And remember, that's going to be happening at the cellular level. And that's where I want you to explain it to me. For example, you guys remember the neuromuscular junction where the nerve meets the muscle fiber? So, one of the things that happens at that neuromuscular junction and acetylcholine to get released for the muscle contraction, calcium is needed for that. For that nerve to get the release of acetylcholine for the muscle to function, we need calcium. That is at my cellular level. Does that make sense? All right. So, what danger is presented to soft tissue with phosphate levels too high? Will it store it in the soft tissues? That might be very detrimental. I don't know. You'll check it out. Just saying. What about the endocrine? Ding, 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 ding. Another system being added. Do you happen to remember which hormone would affect some of these levels? Well, if we think about the calcium phosphates, Alex,
Thyroid.
we've got to deal with some of our thyroid hormone. Not for this one. If ADH will come into play based on, because it is going to be a renal issue, ADH is going to play a part in wanting her to, well, actually, no, because ADH would want us to be conserving water, holding the water in the body. She's already got a problem with that because of the edema. So she needs to be getting rid of it. But we're going to have stuff like parathyroid, thyroid. Okay, so there's our endocrine system being brought in. Alex, the bones, because we've got these extra salts, these extra ions, okay, it is going to affect the bones. Then, what could be this right here? Renal osteodystrophy, sometimes called renal rickets. Because we are having all of these other problems, and the kidneys are problems themselves, but the kidneys are going to be affected also. Their function is decreasing, so that means that their function is affected. Then, how do the other systems, which we've kind of hit on, okay? Because we've mentioned it's going to hit muscle, it's going to hit nerves, it's going to be heart, lungs, kidneys, blood, neuron. Okay, so here's the way, and I want you guys to think about it, the way that we've been talking, based upon this cellular level. You've got from now until the May 5th or 6th, I can't remember what day is the last class. And as you begin to work on your answer, feel free to ask me. Okay? My goal here is wanting you to understand all of this. I'm not putting you out here to do this on your own. Talk to your peers. Discuss it with your peers. Okay? If you have questions, ask me. Email me. Okay? And hopefully when you email me, because that's what you'll be doing, okay, type up your answer in a Word document. This should be at least 1,000 words. This should take 1,000 words, no problem. So that's the minimum requirement. The way this will be graded, if you give me 500 words, 0 points. If you give me 800, 0 points. If you give me 999, 0 points. I mean, when I say a minimum, that means that's the bare minimum. It has to be 1,000. Now, chances are, 1,000 is not going to get the full 40. Okay? Because this should be able to be covered well over 1,000. But at the same time, got plenty of time. I'm here. Ask questions. Any questions? Because like I said, we won't talk about it anymore until you actually come to me with your questions.
So what day is it?
I think the last day of class, I should say the last day of the session,
May 6th is a Monday.
May 6th. Okay? So on May the 6th, this needs to be emailed to me no later than 11:59 p.m. on May the 6th. If it comes in 12 a.m. on May the 7th, how many points? 0.
Oh, so if we answer it like way before that recess time,
Yeah.
email it?
You can go ahead and email it.
So you want us to explain everything at the cellular level following the symptoms, or can we predict what's next? Or
You can.
okay,
Yeah. Because the cellular level is going to be affected.
Right.
We know things will be breaking down.
Like citations, I guess we look up.
You can, any source you use, just cite it. If you use, like if you go, because what do? We all Google, okay? So, if you go to a website, I'm not asking for the APA, MLA, or anything. Give me the reference. Copy and paste the link to the bottom of the page. Yeah, but I'm not asking for it to be all proper. Just give me what you've used. Okay? And if you say our textbook, just put our textbook. Because I'm not asking you to go through all of that citation stuff. Okay? Any other questions?
So how we write it, then you're saying you don't care how it's written, just long as those topics that you have are discussed, like what's going on. And,
I would prefer for it to be double spaced because it would be easier for me to read. But if you don't double space it, fine. If you write it in crayon, take a picture and leave pictures, I'm fine with that. Doesn't matter. Okay? Just so long as you show me that you worked on this.
but I mean, not just the format of it, but like just our approach, like how we handle the information that you've given.
Because not everybody's going to think the same. And what I'm really wanting you to do, is think critically. Because when you go into your programs, this is how they're going to teach. They are not going to have anything up in a nice little format like this. They're going to say, here is the case study. This is what's happening. Now tell me what treatments we need to do. So I have all the background to give you in this course, but at the same time, I want you to have some idea of what's going to happen when you go into your programs. Okay. Good deal. And like I said, all you got to do is ask me. Just talk to me. I will help you with your answers.